Hello and welcome back to Bookmark Chronicles. Today I'm going to be giving you some recommendations. This video will particularly focus on YA fantasy with the exception of one middle grade. So I haven't done as per usual, my neighbors are loud as fuck for no reason, so there's that. I haven't done a recommendation video in a very long time. The last one that I did was on biographies and memoirs, and that was probably within the first few weeks of starting my channel over a year ago. So I do want to make it a goal to do more recommendation videos. I just need to like more of the books that I read. All of the books that I talk about in this video will be ones that I have rated either 4 or 5 stars. So in my opinion, they're pretty good. The first book on this list is Cinderella is Dead by Raybearer. This was a 4-star read for me, and I was very pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoyed it. And this we're following 16-year-old Sophia, who lives in the land where Cinderella once lived 200 years ago. Now, it's been quite some time since Cinderella's death, and every year young girls her age have to go to a ball where they are to be selected as a bride. Sophia's really not into this shit. She's already in love with her best friend, and she decides to start a rebellion. That's all I'll say about that. But it is a wonderful story. It really made me fall in love with Raybearer's writing, and I am really looking forward to reading This Poison Heart, which I also have, just haven't gotten to it yet. I would recommend this for anyone who enjoys sort of fairy tale-esque stories as well as sapphic romance and rebellion. The next book on this list is We Hunt the Flame. This is the first book in the Sands of Arabia duology by Hafsa Faisal. I also enjoyed this one. There is a romantic undertone that I didn't necessarily love, but most people seem to enjoy the romance in this one. I am an outlier on that. In this, we are following Zafira, who is also known as the Hunter. However, very few people actually know of her true identity, and more importantly, that she's a woman. Zafira has this ability to go into this magical forest that most people tend to die in. She gets sent on a mission to find an ancient book that could restore magic to her land. So this book is dual perspective, so we get Zafira's point of view as well as Nasir, who is the prince as well as Arabia's greatest assassin. He gets sent on the same mission, not only to take the book that Zafira has been sent to find, but also to kill her. So I do have a full review of both this and We Free the Stars on my channel, as well as Cinderella is Dead. I don't think I mentioned that before. This one I would recommend for anyone who really enjoys North African, Middle Eastern inspired stories, as well as found family and, again, a little bit of rebellion. The next book on this list is Four Dead Queens. In this, we are in the land of Quadera, which is ruled by 4 queens from each of the regions of the land. However, one day the queens start dropping dead one by one under mysterious circumstances, and our main character, Carolee, has been sent to find out how and why. I don't want to say any more than that because I don't want to give anything away, but I did really enjoy this one. The only complaint that I had was that I didn't necessarily love the ending. I felt like it could have been better, but overall it was a good read. I really enjoyed learning more about the 4 quadrants, and who doesn't love a good queendom? So I would recommend this one to anyone who enjoys a little bit of romance subplot in their fantasy along with murder. And for anyone who's not quite sold yet, the tagline is 1 big lie, 2 forbidden romances, 3 days to catch a killer. So that doesn't pull you in, I don't know what will. So now we're moving on to the 5-star reads, starting with the one middle grade that I have in this list, which is House Moving Castle by Diana Wynne Jones. This is the first in a series. Well, this is the first. There is a sequel as well as a companion novel. I have all 3, I've read all 3, they're all really good. In this, we're following Sophie, who works in a hat shop, and one day a witch comes in and turns her into an old lady. I'm not gonna tell you why, because you find that out when you read it, but because of this, Sophie goes in search of the wizard Howl to see if he can turn her back, and ends up making a deal with the fire demon. So you may also recognize this as a Studio Ghibli movie with the same title. It is a little different from the book, but both are very good, very well done. This is one that I tend to read if I'm in a reading slump. I would also recommend the audiobook of this. It's one of my favorite audiobooks of all time. And if you're interested in the whole series, the companion novel is called Castle in the Air, and the sequel is House of Many Ways, which follows the same characters in this one, but a little further in the future. The companion novels follows a different set of people, and there are occasional appearances from some of our main cast. This is also one that I would recommend for anyone who enjoys found family. The next book on this list is They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. Now, I know that people are really split on this. You either really, really love it or you really, really hate it. I fell into the really, really love it category. In this, we are following two young men who wake up one day and get a call from DeathCast. That means that they're about to be told that they are going to die at some point in the next 24 hours. Our two characters meet because there is an app called Last Friend where people who get their call from DeathCast can meet someone through this app and spend their last day with them. This again includes found family as well as male-male romance. I would recommend this to people who are into interesting worlds, not necessarily a magic system, but more so the world. I think the concept of DeathCast is really interesting, and Adam Silvera did say that he is planning to write another book in this world. Obviously not about the same characters because they both die. But I think that would be really cool. The whole concept of DeathCast and why it was created is really interesting to me. So that's what I'm hoping the next book would be, but who knows? This book honestly made me cry, even though I knew that both of them were going to die. The way that it happened, it just still got to me. It really did, and I wasn't expecting that. So, highly recommend. I know that a lot of people don't like it, but I thought this was awesome. The next book on this list is Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Safe to say most people do know about this one now, especially with the Shadow and Bone series and our introduction to the crows and that. In this, we're following a band of misfits who end up together in order to pull off an impossible heist. I love the characters in this. Again, there is found family. I also just really love the magic system of the Grishaverse, and we don't necessarily get as much of the magic in this one as you do in Shadow and Bone. However, the characters, the adventure, the heist, I love all of it. And actually, this is the only book in the entire Grishaverse that I rated 5 stars. The next book on this list is Iron Widow. This book is so fucking good. It's so good. In this, we are following Zetienne, who enlists in the military to become a concubine pilot for the same pilot who murdered her older sister. For a little bit of context, the military essentially has these machines that are called chrysalises. They have to be powered by a man and a woman at the same time. Typically, the male pilots are much stronger than the female pilots, and the female pilots often die in battle. So, Zetienne expects that she's going to meet this pilot, she's going to kill him, and then she's probably going to die as well. But before she can enact her plan, she and the pilot get thrown into battle. She ends up overpowering him, and he dies, and she becomes the Iron Widow. That's all I'm gonna say about it because you just gotta read it. It's so good. I would also recommend getting the audiobook for this. I did a blended read of it, so I followed along in the physical copy while listening to the audiobook, and I think that's the best way to read this. I would recommend this for anyone who enjoys some of the same things that I already mentioned here. Rebellion, found family, and surprisingly, a love triangle that was actually well done. If you're like me and didn't think that could happen, I've been proven wrong. This is the first book in a series. There is not yet a release date or a title or a cover or anything for book 2. However, it is expected to release sometime in 2022. The last book on this list won't be a surprise to anyone. I'm sure all of you are wondering why I didn't mention it sooner, but it's Raybearer by Jordan Fueco. Y'all know how much I fucking love this book. It's so good. And this we're following Tarisai, who has been raised in isolation. She only sees her mother, known as the lady, every once in a while, and she doesn't understand where her mother keeps going and why she won't stay with her. One day the lady returns and tells Tarisai that she will be sent to the capital to gain the trust of the crown prince. When she does so, she's ordered to kill him. I won't say much more than that. There is so much good stuff in here. So much good stuff. The magic system is really cool. Found family, again, because that's my jam apparently. And it's just so well written. This is another one that I would also recommend listening to on audio or doing a blended read of. I really don't know what else to say about this. Like, it's just so fucking good. I have a full review of both this and the sequel, Redemptor, on my channel if you want to know more of my thoughts. But I mean, at this point, if you've been following me for any amount of time, you've probably heard me mention Raybearer before. That's not going to stop anytime soon, but definitely pick this one up because it's really fucking good. Those are all of my YA fantasy recommendations for now. I hope to do another video like this soon. I don't know what genre I'll do next, but in the meantime, let me know what some of your favorite YA fantasies are, and I'll see you in the next video.